I laid off the stories a little bit. You know, you don't want to be doing stories every week. But I feel like a story. Don't have another stupid story. And this one, maybe this one's called "I Paid for It in Costa Rica." Been so fortunate in my life that I've had so many opportunities to travel, and now that I'm a vlogger, I'm really hoping I'll get an opportunity to travel again. The finances aren't looking good, but you know, maybe we'll find some money in a tax return. Maybe we'll find some money when I get the bigger checks at the end of the year. Maybe we'll find some money even just for a very fantastic, fabulous Fort Lauderdale vlog. A couple of years ago, instead of just doing my usual Florida or my usual Mexico trip, I decided I wanted to go to see Costa Rica. I had some glorious reports about Costa Rica and just how beautiful it was. They're very eco-friendly too. I mean, they're not chopping down their jungles to build casinos or something. You know, they really respect the natural beauty of the country. I saved some money by going during the rainy season. Who goes during the rainy? I do. They like to call it the green season, which I think is a great way to promote it for tourists. And they're not lying, because after a nice rain in the evening, it really is beautiful. The natural beauty just pops. I went to this great little gay resort. It was in Manuel Antonio, and the resorts are all mostly up on a hill, so that when you look out, you can see the beautiful scenery. You can see the ocean. In fact, I had the least expensive. Me, I'm such a cheapskate. How do I get to travel at all? But it was just me traveling, so you know, why book an expensive room? And I got the least expensive one, but I think perhaps with the very best view. Very safe place, but like a lot of resorts all around the world, they're very cautious. They're very careful about who comes into the resort. A lot of the locals or people in the surrounding countries will do their vacation during the rainy season. So I ended up meeting a lot of people from Costa Rica and nearby countries, and that was great. Got to use and practice my Spanish, which I love to do. I was swimming in the infinity pool. This young man is there. The fact that he was a native wasn't that out of place considering the time of year. I think what was out of place was that he was just so handsome and so young, because most of us were people with means, which usually means older. So this young guy, looked to be in his early 20s, is flirting with me quite heavily, and of course I'm not going to say no to that. I suppose I was a little bit suspicious, but again, he was allowed in the resort. He got past the security gate. He said he'd like to come and hang out at my room for a bit. Would you now, dear? I tell you, I was a little nervous about it, simply because he was a young, very attractive man. I was an older, a little bit frumpy man. But everybody kind of around me said, go for it, you'll be fine. And so he came up to my room. We're kind of sitting, I got a little bit of a balcony in the front. We're kind of sitting there chatting and things, and then a thunderstorm starts. And you may remember, I'm not a big fan of the thunderstorms. I knew when I went there, Bob, it may be a thunderstorm. Okay, that's all right. I'll just sit it out or watch it from my room. I said I'm going to feel comfortable in my room. And I get him into my room, and I mean, I don't even have to coerce him very much. He's taking his clothes off. He didn't ask for anything. He digs the older man. He thinks I'm a handsome older man. I'm flattered. And I'm excited. I'm certainly excited. In more ways than one. Do I have to explain that for you? So we did some things. But already there was starting to be some things happening that maybe should have tipped me off. But he asked if could I have the television on. don't know. You mean for porn? You like to watch porn when you? No, it was some news. I think it was some news. I remember Joan Rivers was on there for some reason. I'm trying to have sex. He's laughing at Joan Rivers. His English was pretty much zero. God bless her. She was funny enough that she was even funny to read the subtitles. We had some fun. We got up to some stuff. I said I'd like to take him to dinner. I mean, I thought that was kind of the least thing I could do is take him to dinner, and went to a really nice place. A little pricey maybe, but really nice place. In fact, some of the people from the hotel were there kind of waving at me. I was giddy. I was a giddy schoolgirl. I'm showing some pictures of my family, my nice niece. There's a new one. At this point, he's kind of looking really disinterested. I mean, I didn't take him to McDonald's. And it wasn't a Michelin 3-star restaurant, but it was nice. I invested a little money in that, and I was happy to. Then, the meal's winding down and stuff, and he says, there's a club upstairs. Let's go up for a drink. And he asked for a drink, and I thought, oh, okay, no big deal. I think I bought him a couple of drinks, And he seems to be expecting all this, kind of. Right? There was never an effort to say, now, come on, I'll buy my own meal. If you've been great company, that's good enough for me. No. We walked back to my hotel. Get very sassy, very sexy, kind of looks into my eyes and says, would you like me to stay the night? Only thing is, I'll need some money to get back to maybe San Jose or something. Maybe not quite that far, but whatever. I need the money to get home. $3 million. All is what I'm gonna need. Well, anyway, it kind of seemed like an inflated price. Now, me and having people over for the whole night, I'm not great. We had fun. We had a good time. He was good company. Then I explained that to him, in the nicest way possible. He said, okay, but you could do me one more favor, maybe. You could just give me a little money so I can get the bus to would he need the bus? So I did, and I'm going to leave him stranded on this road. It's a bit remote where I was staying, he'd be stuck on a road with no... And I go back to my room, kind of gather my thoughts. I take a nice walk down to the jacuzzi, and I liked the jacuzzi in that place because it was right in the jungle. There are monkeys howling. They have this kind of monkey, howler monkeys. Gosh, I could do a whole video on Costa Rica. The howler monkeys, the spider monkeys, the grandpa monkeys. Grandpa monkeys, because they got a face like mine, actually. They look like old grandpas, grumpy ones. The bartender did this for us. Peeled a banana. And we watched the monkeys come down to come take that. Pretty close-up pictures of some monkeys. Throw them in here. I'll probably throw them in here. I have some nice pictures from Costa Rica. And I'm alone. And then this older guy comes, and he's in there with me. He's there, and I'm saying, well, he was a nice boy, and I kind of a little bit disinterested with that TV on. I might have bought him some dinner, and then... I bought him a couple of drinks and, a little bit of fare back to things. I'm kind of putting all that together in my mind, and I kind of think I paid for it, didn't I? I paid for sex, didn't I? I just paid for sex. Oh, you mean the cute little one and the Speedo and the thing? Yeah, yeah, you paid for it, you did. I was feeling a bit down for a moment. I think that old fella helped me have perspective on it because... he said, well, good for you. What a nice time you had. And so you had to pay for it a little bit. And I ain't judging anyone for paying for sex. I ain't judging anyone for that. I don't judge a lot. I think you'll find I don't judge. I don't like to judge because that's for judges or God. Be careful, really. You never know. You might get a little rough trade, try to hit you over the head and take your money. In fact, I think that would probably be the one and only time I paid for sex. Unless you count those dates that get very expensive. I think, in fact, that he was maybe invited into the hotel, that he had an arrangement with the owners. I mean, Costa Rica is a safe place. But there's probably a little bit of unscrupulous behavior going on. I mean, he buzzes and says his name, and they let him in, and they know who he is, and they know what he does, and it's probably... not bad for business. If you're in Costa Rica and a handsome young guy or girl, clearly out of your league, starts to want to be friends with you. You want to buy them, you want to have sex with them? Sure, but you might have to buy them a meal, a couple of drinks, and some money to get home. You know, if that's something that's going to make you feel ashamed, I'd say don't do that. If you're kind of an amoral, hedonistic slut like me, that's not such a bad deal. Just another story from your really great vacation in Manuel Antonio National Park. Why don't I plug it? On the happiness index, you might want to Google that, they got number 1 in the world. And it's not because it's a rich country by any means, it's a poor country. It has more to do with the quality of life, the kind of really kind people they have there. I had a lot of fun telling that story, I had a lot of fun. And I hope you also enjoyed how I paid for sex in Costa Rica. I wouldn't say I'm real proud of it. I'm not that ashamed of it either. I gotta pick up so many jokes about how disgusting old people must be when they have sex, or if we should happen to see them naked by accident, how we would go blind.